Hello everybody. In this video I'm going to teach you how to write the letters of the Hebrew alphabet. So grab a piece of paper and a pencil and follow the video. You can pause the video to practice writing out the letters as you go, but eyes down, let's write some Hebrew. So Hebrew letters are written from right to left. So if you're a left-hander like me, you'll be going yippee at last. I can write a script that I can write easily. The second thing you'll notice is that there's a square on the screen, and that's because this is known as Hebrew square script, because all of the letters are based around the square. And so as I draw these letters for you, you'll be able to see how they relate to the square. The third thing you need to know is that I'm dividing the alphabet up into different groups. This is just a simple way of helping you memorize the letters. So the first group is the first four letters: Aleph, Beth, Gimel and Daleth. So here we go. Here's Aleph, and it's a three-stroke letter. It starts with a diagonal stroke from the top left to the bottom right, and then there's a short stroke to just below the middle, and then a third stroke from just above the middle down to the other corner, and that is the letter Aleph. Second letter is the letter Beth. Now this is a long stroke with a flat bottom. This is one of the letters that can have a dot in it. But the most important thing to notice about this letter is this little piece here sticking out the bottom right-hand corner. This is called a tittle, and it's there because it distinguishes this letter from another letter that's very similar but without the tittle, and we'll come to that letter later. So that is Beth, the second letter. The third letter is Gimel. Now Gimel is a thin letter, and so we'll put it to the right hand side of the square. So we'll just form it like that with two little legs at the bottom there. And like Beth, Gimel can take a dot sometimes. So that's the third letter, Gimel. The fourth letter in this first group of four is Daleth. Daleth starts with a line across the top and then a line going down the side. Daleth also can take a dot, and you'll see on the top right hand corner there is another tittle. Again, it's important that this tittle is there because it distinguishes it from another similarly formed letter that doesn't have the tittle. So that's Daleth, the fourth letter. So our first group of letters are Aleph, Beth, Gimel and Daleth. The second group of letters is a group of 5 letters: Hey, Waw, Zayin, Cheth and Teth. Hey starts off like this. Line across the top, going down the side, and a short line on the left hand side. Really important that this gap exists, again because there's another letter where it doesn't. Also, we need to make sure that that little tittle is sticking out the top there. So that's Hey. And then we have Waw. Waw is the thinnest of the letters. It's a vertical line, like that. After Waw we have Zayin, which starts off with a vertical line like that, but has a short diagonal line across the top. Zayin. Fourth of this group is Cheth. Horizontal line along the top, vertical line down the side, and then a line that comes down the left hand side and joins at the top So this is Cheth. It joins at the top, and there's a tittle at the top left-hand corner as well. And this is the one that we need to distinguish from Hey, which has the line like that with a gap. But this is Cheth. And the last of this group of 5, Teth. Teth, strange looking letter, but it looks something like this. And that's Teth. So our second group of letters are Hey, Wow, Zayin, Cheth, and Teth. Now we come to the third group of letters. This is a group of 5 letters: Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, and Nun. I've chosen these 5 together because they're very similar to their English equivalents, J, K, L, M, and N. The Yod is usually transliterated with a Y, but it does also sometimes turn into a J for things like names like Jeremiah. And so the JKLMN works for Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, because that's how they're pronounced. So let's have a look at the Yod. This is the smallest of the letters, and it looks a little bit like this. Just goes up in the top right hand corner. After Yod comes Kaf. Now Kaf is the letter that looks similar to a Beth, only unlike Beth, it doesn't have a tittle in the bottom right hand corner. Kaf is also one of the letters that can take a dot in it. Now Kaf is one of the letters that also has a different form when it comes at the end of the word. So the end form of Kaf, if it's the last letter in the word, looks like this. So this form has a tittle on the top right hand side, and it goes well below the line. After Kaf we have Lamed. Lamed is the only letter that starts above the box, and it looks something like that. I think it's my favourite looking letter in the Hebrew alphabet, and that's Lamed. Then we have Mem. Mem's a strange letter to write. It looks something like this. So you'll see that there is a tittle there and a gap just down there. And that's Mem. Mem, like Kaf, takes a different form if it comes at the end of a word, and it's effectively a square. But there's a little tittle on it. After Mem we have Nun. Now Nun is another thin letter, and it looks a bit like a closing square bracket. Not to be mixed up with Wow or Zayin, but and also Gimel is another letter that's similar to Nun. So make sure you do the square corners. Nun also has an end form, which looks like this. Just goes below the line. Make sure you keep it thin, otherwise it starts to look like the end form of a Kaf. And that's Nun. So our third group of letters are Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, and nun. Now we come to the fourth group of letters. This is a group of four: Samech, Ayin, Pei, and Tzadeh. So, Samech is quite a simple one to draw. It's a circle with a tittle. So it starts like this, it goes round in a circle, and there's the tittle in the top left-hand corner. So that's Samech. After Samech, we have Ayin, which looks a bit like an English Y, only the letter does not go below the line. So it's very firmly in the middle of the square. And that's Ayin. The third letter of this group is Pei. Now, Pei starts off looking like Kaf, with this form of line. And like Kaf, it can take a dot. But unlike Kaf, it has a little bit there. And that is the letter Pei. Like Kaf, it has a different end form. And the end form for Pei looks like this. Going right down below the line. And there's your little bit there. So that's the end form of Pei. And the last of this four letters is Tzadi. Tzadi looks like that. That's Tzadi. Tzadi has an end form, goes below the line again, has a little, let's do that again. There we go. And that's the end form of Tzadi. So our fourth group of letters is Samek, Ayin, Pei, and Tzadi. The last group of letters, the fifth group, is another group of four, and the four letters are Kof, Resh, Shin, and Tau. So Kof is a letter which goes below the line. We have a line going down like that, and then like that. The important thing really is to make sure that there is a gap there and a gap there. That's Kof. After Kof, we have Resh, not to be confused with Daleth, because Daleth has a tittle in this top right hand corner, whereas Resh doesn't. So that is Resh. Then we have Shin. It's quite a big letter, this one. Looks like that. Different from a W, important to get the angles right on where the lines go. And Shin has a dot above the right hand stroke. If it has a dot over the left hand stroke, it's Sin, and it's pronounced differently. But for the sake of learning the alphabet, we just refer to it as Shin with the dot there. So that's Shin. Finally, the last letter is Tau, which starts off looking like the first stroke of a Chet or a Hey, and then the second stroke again looks like a Heth until you get to the end when there's a little kick on the end. So we have the kick on the end to distinguish it from Chet, and again the tittle is important up there. Tau is the last letter of the alphabet, and it's the last letter that can have a dot in it. So that's Tau. And our fifth and final group of letters is Kof, Resh, Shin, or Sin, and Tau. So there you have it. That's how you write the Hebrew alphabet. In the next video, I'll be showing you what the transliteration of the letters looks like and why we use the different transliteration forms that we do. Okay, see you next time.